Like Stacy said, I work for a company called RealThing Ai. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you just really briefly about our company. Then I will tell you about the phone. We'll stop and answer some questions, and then I will do a demo, and then we'll have another opportunity for questions. So RealThing Ai is based in Australia. Our headquarters are in Melbourne, and we specialize in voice dialogue. Without getting too technical, in very simple word, it's basically the technology that allows humans, people, and computers to interact via voice. So you can talk to computers, and computers understand what you say and can give you the information that you're asking them to do. That's sort of our core technology. It's called voice dialogue. So RealSAM Pocket is a new phone. We are about to launch it in the next month, and in February in the US. We have a very similar version that we have been selling in the UK for the past 4 years. And we also have a few government contracts that are not related to the phone, but related to our core technology. We are redesigning the National Library of Congress's book player. So at the moment, some of you may be using it. You have a little player, and then NLS sends you cartridges, and you put the cartridge in, you listen to the book, then you have to send those cartridges back. It's a little bit clunky because you have to deal with the mail, send things back and forth. We will have a device available in the next 2 years. We have a 5-year contract to prototype it, and we've been more than halfway through. It will be another device that will be free that will just stream books, NLS books to you. And we have a similar version in the UK with Royal National Institute for the Blind. So that's the way of introduction about our company and where we're from and what we do. So now I want to talk to you about the phone. So for those of you who use video and can see me, I'm holding the phone in front of you. And for those of you who cannot see, I will try to explain it. And you're welcome to ask questions when I stop. So what we do is we take off the shelf a phone. In the US, we're using Samsung Galaxy A32, and we put our software on it. What it does, it allows you to interact with the phone by voice. You basically tap on the button, and there's a virtual button at the bottom 20% of the screen that says tap to talk. So you tap on the button and you ask the device to do something. So you can say, call my daughter, read me a book, open magnifier, so those kind of things. The reason, so what we do is that we put our software on the device. And then once we put our software, we lock your experience. And we want to lock your experience because we want to make sure that it is easy for you to use. So I know that some of you may use iPhones. And if you use an iPhone, great, fantastic. But I also know that some of you would like to use an iPhone, but it's a little bit too complex with all the gestures and all the accessibility features. And it's just a little bit of an overkill for what you may need. So we designed a phone for those of you for whom an iPhone is too much and it's not a good fit for whatever reason that may be. The functionality that we offer is relatively limited. And the reason we do that because we want to make sure that it is whatever is available, it is easy to use and you can operate all of those features by voice. There's 3 sets of features that are available on RealSAM Pocket. We call them communication features, entertainment features, and assistance features. Under communication features, you can make a phone call, you can receive a phone call, you can send a text message, receive a text message. And one of the really cool things that you can do is to add a contact by voice. Those of you who are iPhone users know that on an iPhone, you cannot do that. So that's one feature that we're able to do. We also have a companion website that at the moment, if you decide to use RealSAM Pocket and you have a list of all of your contacts, you can just upload an Excel spreadsheet. So you don't have to add them one by one. You can add them in bulk. And in the future, we'll have other functionality. You don't have to use the portal, but it's just an extra tool out there for you. Under entertainment features, we have several book libraries. We have LibriVox, we have Torch Trust, we have Project Gutenberg that you can access. And you can say things like, read me a book or find me a book about the sun or read me a book by Hemingway. stuff like that. And it will find, assuming those books are in that library, it will find you the book, and then you can read it. You can speed it up, you can skip forward, you can rewind, you can change the rate of speech, etc. You will also have access to a newspaper, to radio stations and podcasts, including the RealSAM collection podcasts, which are podcasts by blind people for blind people, but you have a variety of other topics. On the assistance, in the assistance features, you have several location services, so you can ask things like, where am I, or what's around me? You have video magnifier, you have OCR, and OCR stands for optical character recognition. It basically uses your phone camera to take picture of text and read it back to you. We also have object identifier, and we have other things such as world time. You can ask for the time in any city in the world. Same with weather. We have smart reminders, and we have assistance contact. So you can designate one or more of your contact as your assistance contacts. And in case of emergency where you don't want, it's not a 911 kind of emergency, but if you need to get a hold of somebody, you can easily contact them by phone, and it will also send them a message telling them where you are and telling them that you're trying to contact them. Okay, so that's a little bit about the phone. Before I jump into the demo, if you have any questions, please ask them right now.
Does anybody have any questions for Anat?
Question is regarding, do you have to have a provider like an AT&T service or a Verizon service to enable that phone?
Correct. So it's a phone, right? So in order to use a phone, you have to.
Oh.
Our phones, RealSAM Pocket, are completely unlocked for any provider. So you basically can put in any SIM card and use it right away. Now, having said that, in order to make phone calls or send and receive text messages, you have to have a SIM card. But in order to use other features, such as the assistance features or the media streaming entertainment features, all you need is the Wi-Fi. So
Okay.
if you just want to do that, you can do that. We have a few customers in the UK who use it just to listen to books and radio stations, etc. But it is a phone. So if you want to use it as a phone, you do have to have a SIM card.
Or if not, if you don't use it as a phone, you can just use it without the providers, correct?
Correct. As long as you have Wi-Fi at home or at the
Okay.
place where you're planning on using it.
Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Of course, you're welcome.
Thank you, Farhang. Okay.
Okay, so I just need clarification. Is
Sure.
it a telephone that you're selling that has the app on it, or can we use that app independently on a phone, an Android phone we already have?
Okay, great question. So we are selling the entire phone with our app on it. So you cannot buy an app and use it on your own phone. The reason for that is that screen resolutions and the devices, handsets, are very different. So technically we can do that, but it costs a lot of money to customize for every single cell phone that's out there. That's why we sell it as a package, phone plus the software.
Okay, and how large is this phone?
It's A32, Galaxy A32. And I actually can't remember the screen size, but I'm going to Google it really quickly. So Galaxy A32 screen size. It's quite large. It's 6.5 inches.
Okay.
And I'm holding it in front of me. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, I can see it. Yeah. And just oh shoot, my next question just went out the window. Sorry. If I remember, I'll ask it at the end. Sorry. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome to ask it later. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. And we have another question. Is Ken? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Ken.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
All right. Hi, Anat. It's good to see you again, and good luck on your new job.
Hi, Ken. Good to hear from you.
Okay, I was wondering, I think in my experience on Wi-Fi, see, if you do not have a SIM card, On the Wi-Fi, you can do everything, even make phone calls.
Well, yes and no. So technically, if you have a voice over IP app, such as like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, technically you can, but those apps are currently not available. In the future, we're planning to do an escape to Android. So for people who want to use additional apps, they can download them, but they may not be in our experience, which means, tap and talk. So those would be just regular Android accessibility features. But at the moment, those apps are not available. For those of you who will decide to buy the phone when it's out or at any time, at any point of time, we offer 2 years of free software updates. So if we come up with anything new in the next 2 years from the time that you bought your phone, you get all the new features for free.
Okay, and yeah, the reason I was asking, I have an iPhone 5S that got halfway activated, and I cannot make phone calls out in the field on active data, but I can make Wi-Fi phone calls at home.
Right. And I think your experience is quite typical for RealSAM users currently in the UK, because we just have a handful of beta testers in the US. We came up with this phone as an alternative for those of you for whom, making phone calls on an iPhone or using an iPhone to its full capacity is just too complex. And so what you described, Ken, is quite typical for our users. So if you have everything that you can do on your iPhone, go ahead and use it. But if there's certain things that you're struggling with, RealSAM Pocket could be a good alternative.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Of course, good to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks. Good. Same here.
Ken was my OrCam customer. We go way back way.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I don't see any other hands raised. So any questions, or we'll have not. Oh, Sherry. Okay, go ahead, Sherry. You're unmuted.
Good morning. Thank you. My question is there I'm not familiar with the Samsung 832. Is there an end of life year for this yet?
Sure. So good question. So in general, for any Samsung device, Samsung basically committed to about 18 months, and it could change by a couple of months, but about 1.5 years of a lifespan for any device they produce. We selected Samsung because it's sort of the best in the market after an iPhone, but iPhone doesn't play well with others. So all of their technology is closed, so you can't really develop for it. So that's why we picked Samsung as opposed to, some no brand name or somebody that, some brand that nobody knows what it is. So our plan is to support at least 2 versions of hardware. And that's why I mentioned we have 2 years of software updates. We will develop software for 2 years. So even if Samsung, let's say, stops selling A32 in January of 2023, and I don't know exactly when they're planning on stopping it, I'm just making it up, you will still get, let's say if you buy it today, you will still get your new software for the next 2 years. It's not specific to A32, it's just in general how Samsung operates. So they retire or they stop producing handsets after about 18 months.
Thank you.
Sure. Good question, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay. So let's jump into a demo. And I will stop, again, so you can definitely ask questions, and I know some things will come up. So again, I'm going to hold the phone in front of me for those of you who can see me. And I know a lot of you are joining by phone, and I know most of you have visual impairment. But for those of you who can see, I have it on the screen. So let me explain what's going on the screen. So on the screen, there's not much happening. You have a dark blue background, and you have RealSAM logo on the top right corner. On the left side, on the left top corner, you have a hamburger menu. And if you put your finger on that menu, and you kind of draw a large L on the screen, it will open.
Showing main menu, move your finger around the screen until you hear the item you want and then release.
So you have some settings and some things you can access to by tapping on the screen, including a full user guide. Okay, so I'm just going to move my screen, my finger on the screen so you can hear what's available here.
Call contact, call number, settings, user guide, cited assistance menu, assistance call, turn on outdoor locations, done, exiting menu.
So I clicked on done. Most of you will not use it, but the cool thing is that if you need to access your user guide, it's available by voice command, and I will show you how to get there, but also on the screen. So if you have a sighted person, like somebody was had her daughter on the call, or somebody else who wants to help you, they can access the cited menu as well. At the bottom, about 20% of the screen, you have a virtual button that's drawn on the screen that says tap to talk. So in order to use the phone, every time you want to ask the phone to do something for you, you have to tap. It doesn't listen to you all the time. It only listens to you when you tap. That's how it's being activated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my personal cell phone, and my personal cell phone is stored as a contact as my iPhone. So I'm going to tap on the screen, and then you'll hear a little beep. Call my iPhone. It's taking a minute. I'm not sure why. Maybe I have bad reception, but usually it's pretty quick to call. Of course, I tested my phone before this demo and it worked just perfect.
Transient network error.
Okay, I'm going to try
Please
again.
try again.
Call my iPhone.
Calling my cell phone. Press power to cancel or talk to toggle speaker mode.
Okay, so now it brought a big screen on the phone that shows a dial pad. It shows my personal phone number and it says my cell phone. And at the bottom, and the screen is blue with big white letters. And at the bottom, there is a big red button that says hang up. And then right now I have my phone ringing. I stole my son's SIM card, so it said Luca on the screen because I'm gonna hang up. It said my son's name because I stole his SIM card and put it in my RealSAM Pocket. This is how easy it is to make a phone call. Now I can also call, so I'm going to call from my personal cell phone to my RealSAM phone, and it will tell you, and then you will hear what it does. So now I have
My cell phone, press talk to accept or power to reject.
Okay, I'm going to reject. So at the bottom,
Was terminated.
so what happened on the screen, it says my cell phone calling. It also announced it by voice. And at the bottom of the screen, you had two very large buttons, accept and reject. They're also very high contrast. So accept is kind of like bright blue. And reject is in red, okay? I can also send a text message to myself and I can receive a text message. So I'm gonna tap again and I'm gonna say, send message to my cell phone, I'll be right there.
Your text message to my cell phone says be right there. Would you like to send it?
I'm gonna tap again and say, yes.
Message sent. Sending message. Message delivered.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you, for those of you who can see, a message that appears on my cell phone. It says, be right there. Okay, so I received that message and I can obviously send messages to the RealSAM Pocket. So very easy. When I was sending message, I said whom to send it to. Okay, I said send message to my cell phone, and then I said the text of the message. If you guys are not as quick, you can just say send a message and the phone will ask you, who would you like to send the message to? Then you say my cell phone, and then it will ask you, what would you like the message to say? And then you can add the text of your message. So You can do it in many different ways. The coolest thing that I can do is to add a phone number. I'm just going to make up a phone number, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to add. Add contact John Doe 408-123-4567.
Contact saved. Contact name.
Ajano,
Number.
4081-2345-67.
You can call, text, change name or number, delete, or say finish to continue.
It didn't catch the name of the person that I wanted to save, so I'm going to say change name and change the name. Change name.
Say the new name or the word keyboard for editing it with the touch keyboard.
John Doe. What's happening? That's not supposed to happen. This is my demo device. So
Contact name.
John Doe,
Number.
4081-2345-67.
You can call, text, change name or number, delete, or say finish to continue.
finish.
Fine.
So I didn't catch the name the first time I said it. And then I was able to change the name. Now it confirmed that the name was John Doe, the way I wanted it. And I could have sent a message and made a phone call. Obviously, that was not a real person, a real number. I just made it up. But it's that easy to add. Okay. So those are the communication features. I'm going to stop here and give you an opportunity to ask questions about communication features.
Okay, Marianne.
This is Marianne. My daughter has another question.
Sure.
Hi, yes, I just noticed that, I don't have any vision problems, but I just noticed that you kept tapping to talk or tapping to change things every single time that you did something. If a person was actually totally blind, they wouldn't be seeing what you were doing. So this phone actually has, it's not totally voice activated. You do have to do a lot of finger tapping to go to the next thing. I just wanted to point that out, because I could see you tapping, but like, for example, my mom couldn't see you tapping.
Right. So this is part of the training. When you get the phone, we recommend getting a training session. That button that I'm tapping on, it's in the same place. So it's actually quite easy to teach a person who is totally blind where that button is. The reason we did it the way we did it is because some of our customers were really concerned about privacy and did not want their phone to listen to them all the time. So we had to figure out a way to trigger the phone so the phone can understand your command. In the future, we will have a setting where users can decide whether they want the phone to listen to them all the time and you wouldn't need to tap every time like I did right now. Or those who are concerned about privacy and prefer to trigger the phone before they're asking the phone to do something for them will do this tap and talk. But teaching a blind person where to tap is not a problem. It hasn't been. We've been in the UK for 4 years and we have, quite a few customers there. It's just part of the training. And you guys have a assistive technology store at the San Jose location that's run by North State Assistive Technology, who is the distributor of assistive technology. And they have a RealSAM Pocket there. So if and when you decide to purchase it, you can order a training session from Corey at North State, and he will train you on how to use it.
Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome.
Okay, Beverly. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
You mean this Beverly?
Yeah, sorry. Bev
There are
preferred,
two.
yes, sorry, there are two. Yes.
All right. From what I understood from the beginning is that you can use your voice for everything. So when you're talking about tapping, you're just talking about the tap to talk button, aren't you? Because
Exactly.
if you tap that, you can talk. You don't have to do any other gestures. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. The tapping is simply to make sure the device listens to you, because otherwise it doesn't know to listen to you, because it doesn't.
So
listen
all
to
of those
you.
other things you were describing, those are things that sighted people can do if they want to. But as a blind person, if you just want to use your voice, all you have to know is where is the tap to talk button.
You're exactly correct, Beverly. That you said it perfectly. I could not have said it better. It's really our phone is tap and talk phone. There are other things that a blind person can do was the menu, because again, we can teach you how to open the menu and it's quite simple, but you don't have to do it. If that's something you're not interested in learning, or you never have to do it. It's just an extra option for you. But for daily operation, all you have to do is tap at the bottom of the screen on that big button. It's always in the same place. And we'll also have to teach you how to hang up and answer a call. But it's also those hang up and answer, they're also in the same place where tap and talk button is. So it's quite simple. Did we lose Beverly?
No, she's here. She just.
Okay.
Did that answer your, thank you, Beverly. Thanks for helping clarify that. Any other questions?
Okay. You guys want to listen to some books? Okay. So I'm just going to repeat what I said earlier, just to remind you. There's several book libraries here. And the way that our device works at the moment is you have to select a library first, and then you select a book. In the future, we know this is not ideal. We will just search all of the libraries at the same time, so you don't have to select a library first. But at the moment, you have to select a library first. You can, our phone has technology that is based on natural language processing. Natural language processing is different than voice commands. For example, voice commands, you have to say something in a very exact way. And if you don't say it in that very exact way, the device that you're talking to doesn't really understand you. Here, the device understands your intent. It doesn't mean it's going to understand everything you say, but it's going to try, especially for the features that are available. If you're going to ask it, what color is my lipstick, it's not going to do anything because that's not a feature that we're supporting, for example. So with the books, what I'm going to say is I'm going to tap and say, read me a book about the sun.
Select a book about the sun in the library box source. Initial 5 of 36. That's maximum volume. Select a book about the sun in the library box source. Initial 5 of 36. 1. Secret of the Ninth Planet by Donald Wilhelm. 2. I Saw the Sun at Midnight, Rising Red by Joseph Mary Plunkett.
I'm going to pick the first
3.
one.
Bible.
1. So I tapped and said 1. Oh, what happened? Read me a book about the sun. What happened? This is my beta device, by the way. So it's not completely out. So it has a few little glitches, which the reason it's not out, because we know there's a few glitches, so we're fixing them. So let me try again. I may have to restart it. Read me a book about the sun. Okay, I'm going to restart my phone. Something happened. Power off. So while I'm restarting my phone, I'm not sure what happened, but sometimes things like that happen. So the easiest way to, if it's stuck, is just to restart the phone. So it's going to take me, a few seconds for it to restart. It's booting up right now, and then we'll go back to reading. I see a question from Farhan. So maybe we can ask, Farhan, you can unmute yourself and ask your question while my phone is rebooting.
Thank you very much. Do you have to tap anywhere on the phone to ask a question, or is there a particular spot where you tap?
There is a particular spot because we wanted to make sure that you don't activate the device to listen to you by accident. So it's not the entire screen, it's about 20%.
Welcome to RealSAM Pocket by RealThing Ai.
It's about the bottom 20% of the screen. That's where you
Okay.
tap.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Of course. There is a question from Miriam as well.
Yeah, I was just in response to your comment, I think from Beverly about people who have no sight not being able to see this tap button. I was wondering, could one just put a bump dot on that location and find it that way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, some of our that's a good point. Some of our users view that. Yeah, you can just put a little bump dot on the screen or on the side, and so you will know. But also, after you use it for a couple of days, even without the bump dot, you will remember where it is. It's because it's always in the same place.
Well, great. Thank you.
Of course. Robert, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there. I was
Hello.
wondering, is there a way to use this phone to order an Uber ride?
Not at the moment. So this goes to what I mentioned earlier. At about second half of next year, or maybe the following year, we're going to give you guys an escape to Android to download additional apps. And so Uber would definitely be one of them. We're looking into rideshare and paratransit apps because we know that a lot of folks who are visually impaired use those apps.
Would that work using your voice, or would I have to use the touch screen?
So for that, you would have to use a touch screen, most likely. You will be able to initiate the app. So you'll be able to say open Uber or open Lyft, and then it will open the app, and then you will have to use your regular Android accessibility to navigate it. Now we're planning to adding additional functionality within the voice environment, and we are looking into adding rideshare apps. So once you get the devices, please be vocal and let us know your feedback. Tell us what you love about the device and tell us about the things that are missing or things that you would like to change. We are a small technology company, and our goal is to make devices that are useful to people. So we really listen to our customer feedback. In fact, the way that the phone works, it's all based on our customer feedback in the UK. A lot of the things will be similar in the US and the UK, but there could be some differences. So for example, in the UK, they use a lot of WhatsApp, whereas for a voice over IP calling, in the US, I look at statistics, Facebook Messenger is by far, has the much larger market share. So there's some regional differences. But I'm happy you asked about it. It's on the list, so we'll have to determine whether we bring it into our voice experience or whether we just give you access to the app with just general Android accessibility.
All right, thank you.
Sure. Farhan, you have another question.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Sure.
When we talk to our iPhone to send a message, it doesn't have that much patience to listen to the full thing. Like if we say send message to so-and-so, okay, I will be there at so-and-so time. Will you be available? Before we even complete the sentence, it will say, do you want to send it? Is it the same with this phone? Does it have enough patience to listen to a full sentence?
We hope so. We believe that it does have enough patience, but you kind of have to speak without very long pauses. If you have a long pause, it's going to think that you finished. But if you speak the way I speak or the way you just spoke to me, you should be able to include the entire message.
Okay, and can we dictate message emails also? Do we get emails? Can we get emails just like we get on iPhones?
Yeah, at the moment, we don't have email functionality, but this is one of the first things on the list after the release to add. So at the moment, there is no email at all.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much for answering my questions.
Sure, you're welcome. Okay, any other questions about communication features? Okay, so I'm going to try to read the book again. Hopefully it works this time. So let's try. Hopefully third is a charm. Read me a book about the sun.
It doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, it's refusing for some reason. It worked before the demo.
Listing books about the sun in the LibriVox source. First 5 of 36.
So I'm already in the
Secret of
LibriVox
the Night
library.
Wind
So it's
by
going
Donald
through
Wuhan. 2.
the
I
books
Saw
in
the
that
Sun at
source.
Midnight. Rising Red by Joseph Mary Plunkett. 3. Bible YLT.
2. See, it's for some reason it's not working. List podcasts. I don't know what's going on. It's just because I'm doing a demo. List radio stations. That's my dog growling. Excuse me for a second. She wants to go outside. I'm just going to open my door.
This is Lisa. So now I feel better because I thought it only happens to me.
Is your dog?
No, technical difficulties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so my media, it doesn't want to work for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. I told my engineers not to touch this particular device and update everything else because I have demos, but I guess they don't always listen. So because we're still actively working on fixing like a few last things before the launch. It's 95% ready. So I bet you they touched my phone overnight and did something to it that I don't know. So let me ask some other things. So I'm going to tap and say, where am I? Yeah, it's not happening. I don't know what it's doing.
It's not working.
It's Murphy's Law. You know, I was in Texas a couple of weeks ago, and we actually had 5 days of in-person meetings, and it worked perfectly. And I've been doing a lot of demos via Zoom too, but today it's just refusing to work. So let me try something else. Open magnifier. It has this like tap, tap, tap sound, means it's doing something. And on the screen, it says thinking. But it shouldn't take that long. So my phone is refusing to cooperate with me today. What I may have to do is just do another presentation for you guys where all the features will work so you can see all of it. But I'm glad at least you were able to see the communication features, which are probably the most important ones. The ability to make a phone call, receive text messages, and really having that ability to add contacts by voice, which are really difficult to do on other devices. So I apologize. I don't know why my phone is not cooperating with me. I'm going to try to restart it one more time and see if that fixes it. Usually it does, but I'm not sure. So if you guys have any other questions, I'll be happy to address them now. Thomas, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes. What is the price of something like this? If you don't know exactly, a ballpark would do.
Yeah, I actually know exactly. It's going to be $1,400, $1,399. And you get technical support, and you get free software updates for 2 years. If any of you are veterans, you can talk to your VA. I haven't with the local VAs, they haven't committed to issuing it yet, but we're still in conversation, and I think they will. They're just waiting to see the final version. So if you're a veteran, you may be able to get it for free from your VA, but talk to me or talk to your VIS coordinator about that. Okay. Ken has a question.
Hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Let's see, let me get the microphone. Yeah, that's right. It's a technical thought here. You using Wi-Fi or data tower?
Right now, what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I think right now I'm using my data.
That
And
might-
that could be an issue because I stole my son's SIM card because I left mine was in Texas, which has a good plan, and my son has a cheap one. So that could be it. But I also tested some of those things before the meeting, and everything was working. So I'm not sure. It could be a connection issue too.
Yes, same location, testing.
Yes, well, I was downstairs, now I'm upstairs. It shouldn't make huge difference, but it could be it.
Yeah, I was wondering. Also, while I got you, you said it doesn't do email. Does that mean it cannot do an internet browser?
It does not have an internet browser yet, but we will have it later this year.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
some of the things that we don't have at the moment and we will have by the end of this year are email, full calendar. Right now we have smart reminders. So you can say, remind me in 5 hours to call my doctor, or, tell me like on Thursday to take my garbage out, but it doesn't have full calendar capability. So we'll add that. We'll have an email, we'll have internet browsing, and we'll have a camera with the ability to take pictures, because at the moment the camera only works for OCR, for reading text to you, and for magnifier, and for object identifier.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Farhan?
Yes, Anna, thank you for taking so many of my questions, Anna. Thank you.
Questions are great. I love questions. That means you're listening.
Annette, I want to make it sure. I still don't understand that if you are not registered with a telephone provider, you can still use the Samsung Android phone or any other Android phone without Wi-Fi or without LTE to make WhatsApp calls?
No, you can't. To make WhatsApp calls, you have to have internet, whether it's from your SIM card or from Wi-Fi. You have to have some kind of internet to make WhatsApp calls.
Yeah, correct. Internet service like a Wi-Fi, correct?
Correct.
But not a provider. Not a provider
Correct,
like AT&T,
correct.
Vice.
Yeah, because WhatsApp is voice over IP. I know it's a little bit of a technical term, but you have your regular phone, right, which you get access to through your phone provider like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile. And then you have WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, a lot of like Zoom, if you're not calling in by phone, but you're using the internet source. So you have a whole bunch of voice over IP providers that all you have to do is to have internet. You don't have to have an actual phone line.
Oh, I never knew that. So suppose I go abroad, all right, and I have a Wi-Fi connection. So from that country, I can call anywhere in the world without being any company's provider, correct?
No.
For WhatsApp, that's correct. For WhatsApp, all you need is internet. You don't need a SIM card for WhatsApp, because you can also use WhatsApp on your computer.
I didn't know that. How's that on the computer? I never use WhatsApp on the computer.
It's just you download the WhatsApp app, or you go to WhatsApp website, and you can use it on your computer.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me so many things today. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so very much.
No problem.
You have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm restarting my phone. I'm going to give it one more try because I know that things used to work and I don't know why they're not working now. Are there any other questions?
Welcome to RealSAM Pocket by RealThing Ai.
Okay. So I'm going to say, where am I?
You are close to 1586 Terry Lynn Lane, Concord, California, approximately 459 feet from the corner of Loch Ale and Loch Ort Bonita.
Okay, so if you guys know where, if you guys want to know where I live, I just gave you my address, okay?
That's not good.
What's the weather in Paris?
What?
Sure, getting the coordinates for Paris. Please
Paris.
wait. The weather as of 0 minutes ago in Paris, Ile-de-France, France, is 43 degrees, clouds. Today's minimum was 41 degrees and maximum was 44 degrees. The forecast for today is moderate rain, minimum 37 degrees, maximum 46 degrees, less than flash speed.
Okay, so it gave you a lot of information about weather in Paris, right? What's the time? Ugh, it's not working. Open magnifier. You know, I think it may be internet connection because those things work. And I'm not sure why they're kind of laggy today. Anyways, I don't want to torture you anymore. I would be happy to schedule another session once the phone is actually out and you can purchase it. Consider today as kind of sneak peek preview of what's coming. I apologize, my phone was not cooperating, but like I said, it's a beta device. And the reason we haven't released it is because we really want to make sure that everything works before we, put it in your hands. So for just to remind you, so for kind of assistive technology features that we have on the phone that you may be using on some of your other devices are text reading. So you can take a picture of the text and it will read it to you. At the moment, it only works in English, but we'll add additional languages probably in 2023, starting with Spanish. We have object recognition, so I can point my camera to the room and it will tell me there is a desk, there is a chair, there's a plant, there is a person, there is, whatever, a dog. So it will tell you what's in the room. We have integration, direct integration with Be My Eyes, which is a service where sighted volunteers provide sighted assistance. So you can call that service and you just say Be My Eyes and it will open the app and it will connect you to the first available volunteer. And that volunteer can help you read stuff, cross the street, go from one place to another, just basically be your eyes. And then, we have kind of productivity features, which is, where am I, what's around me? When you ask what's around me, it will tell you the locations of businesses, Pizza My Heart, Starbucks, Lucky Supermarket, CVS, DDS, Dental Group, whatever is around you. Smart reminders, global weather, and global time. Yeah, that's what's available at the moment. Questions? You can't download anything. It's a locked experience. Basically, you get what you get.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Annette.
Anat, this is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, I just want to reiterate to everyone that they basically engineered this phone not to be a replacement for everyone's smartphone, but to be an accommodation for people that don't need to download tons of apps. It's supposed to be very simple for people that only use the phone for certain things. So they're not interested in downloading, all the other things that we normally would download on our iPhones. It's supposed to be made simple for people that needed simple things to do on their iPhone, like read a book, make a phone call, create a reminder, and, do a quick text message. So I just want to reiterate that to everyone. It's not meant to be an iPhone. It's meant to be a phone for people that only need very specific things, so that they are capable of working a smartphone. Correct, Anat?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh,
And we specifically designed RealSAM Pocket as an alternative to an iPhone for people for whom iPhone has too much functionality, and it's maybe too complex to learn all the gestures and all the things that you need to do in order to use it in accessibility mode. And like I said earlier, if you're an iPhone user and you're successful with it, use an iPhone. I don't think you need RealSAM Pocket. But if you're struggling with an iPhone, RealSAM Pocket could provide you a really good alternative.
Thank you, Stacy, for clarifying that. Thank you, Annette.
Yep. And
Of course,
Anat,
you're welcome.
so in the future, will NLS be part of the book library, or is that going to be a separate device?
Great question. So NLS will absolutely be available on RealSAM Pocket for free, but we cannot make it available yet. NLS asks us to wait. From technology standpoint, it's all available. It's already working, but we cannot make it public until NLS tells us it's okay to do so. And they're waiting to release their own new book player before they basically asked us, please hold off on adding NLS library to RealSAM Pocket until we release our own book player. And
Yeah.
that's why it's not there at the moment.
Yeah,
But we have four other libraries of books at the moment that are available.
sure. And I think that's going to be something really popular for a lot of people, that the iPhone is really hard to work, but then they don't want to use the machine from NLS. So I think that's going to be something really great for people that want very simple voice gestures.
Correct. You're absolutely right. Yeah, in the UK, so the equivalent of NLS is RNIB, Royal National Institute for the Blind. And listening to RNIB books is one of the most popular features that our customers use. Roger, go ahead and unmute yourself.